Hey, thank you so much. Okay, so let's go around the speakers. I'm just going to call your name, and each one of you can say your name, your company, and your title. That would be great. Let's first hear from Cody Berger.
Hi guys, I'm Cody Berger. I am an engineering technician with a wastewater specialty, and I work for MSA Professional Services out of the four-state area.
Great, thanks. Ben Campbell.
Hi, my name is Ben Campbell. I'm an environmental biologist for Dairyland Power, and we're located in La Crosse, Wisconsin.
Thanks. Nathan Herr.
Hi everyone, my name is Nathan Herr. I work at the City of Waukesha Wastewater Clean Water Plant, and I am a wastewater operator.
Aaron Houghton.
Hey everybody, sorry I can't get my camera back on right now, but I am the Watershed Programs Manager with New Water up in Green Bay, Wisconsin. That's the Green Bay Metropolitan Sewage District.
Thanks. Jesse Jensen.
Hey everybody, Jesse Jensen. I work for the Wisconsin Department of Natural Resources, and my position is the Drinking Water and Groundwater Program Regional Field Supervisor for the southeastern part of the state. So thank you.
Thanks. Maddie Palubicki.
Hi, I'm Maddie Palubicki, and I'm a project engineering technician at Tetra Tech out of Green Bay, Wisconsin.
Thanks. Max Schwid.
Hey everybody, Max here. I'm calling you from Portland, Oregon, actually, right now. I'm a hydrologist with the USGS out here, and it's good to talk to everybody today.
Great. Thank you so much. So we're going to start with a question. Oh, great. It's working. That's exciting. Okay. With a question for all of you, and we're just going to do round robin, probably in that same order, unless you're totally moved and want to jump in. So where did you earn your degree, and why do you like working in water? Let's go back to Cody.
Hey guys, sorry, I think my video just cut out, but and I joined back in. Anyways, Cody Berger, earned my degree from UW Oshkosh, Environmental Engineering Technology with the bachelor's. And I'm a certified wastewater operator, similar to other individuals on this panel. And I'm not yet a professional engineer, but I definitely assume one day that I will be there. You know, just need to go through all the steps and licensing and get the years of experience and whatnot. So there's my video. Beautiful. Okay, now I can talk to you. Now it's a little more better. But anyways, in high school, you know, just loving and being in the environment. You know, water is so precious. Water is the lifeblood of the planet. You know, we need to protect that resource, you know, from whether it's wastewater, water, you know, surface water, groundwater, I mean, you name it, you know, we need to protect that. It gets taken for granted in a lot of societies. And, you know, we're blessed in the US to have, you know, a system that, you know, we can turn on the faucets, we can flush our toilets, you know, we have surface water we can go swimming in. And I just, growing up, I had a passion for it, and I want my kids to be able to experience all the outdoor activities that, you know, I did, you know, that I continue to do: the fishing, the swimming, the hunting, the ice fishing. I mean, you name it, water provides us with so many different, you know, avenues, and it's just the lifeblood of the planet. So that's why I love working in wastewater. I have a passion for it, and I want to preserve it for my kids so they can go swimming in the lakes that I went swimming in, and they can drink the water that you know, I drank. And I mean, just the recycling of it.
Great, thanks. Ben?
So I went to University of Wisconsin La Crosse, and I got a bachelor's degree in biology with an aquatic science concentration, and went back right away and got my master's also in biology with an aquatic science concentration. And one neat part about my job is I actually get paid to fish. I do a lot of electro fishing on the Mississippi River and up on our Dairyland Reservoir up by Ladysmith, Wisconsin. So I can't complain that part of my job is to spend time on a boat out in the river or the lake.
That's great. And Nathan?
So I graduated with my bachelor's from UW Milwaukee in biological sciences. And then I went back to school at the UW Milwaukee's School of Freshwater Sciences to gain my master's in professional science for freshwater sciences. And working in water, I mean, kind of similar to what Cody was saying, you know, having that kind of like impact, or the impact that you can make from working in, you know, different industries. I really like how there's a variety of different water fields out there that you can kind of dive into and kind of still have a big impact. And, you know, one of my goals in the future is to, you know, hopefully help, you know, third world countries or, you know, areas that are less fortunate to have, you know, fresh water, to be able to, you know, have the technology, but also have the ability to get water like that. So
That's great. Thank you. We should talk about Engineers Without Borders, but probably not here. Erin Houghton.
Good morning or afternoon, I guess. So I am another UW La Crosse undergrad graduate. Started my master's degree there as well. Sorry, my bachelor's was in biology with concentration in environmental science, although every elective I took was aquatic science. And then my master's program, I started with my same advisor at UW La Crosse. Unfortunately, she moved across the country to the University of Maine, so I followed her. And so I ended up finishing my master's degree from the University of Maine at Orono, so out east, and then came back here to Wisconsin and worked on Great Lakes research down in Milwaukee at the School of Freshwater Sciences. I worked there for 6 years before starting at Newater, and now here at Newater working more on the environmental side. So not working on the wastewater treatment side, but working on our environmental programs. And then especially now I'm managing our adaptive management program, which is how we are meeting compliance for new total phosphorus and total suspended solids limits. So really, I think one of my favorite things about working in freshwater specifically is just you can go to school for something and there just really are so many avenues that are still open to you. I did not expect to end up at a wastewater treatment facility, and nor did I expect to work at a wastewater treatment facility and work with farmers, which is what I'm doing now. So really have touched a lot of different things, from the Mississippi River to the Great Lakes to farmer watersheds. So it's been a really fun and just constantly learning just since I left school. So it's been a lot of fun.
Thanks. Jesse.
All right, my story begins in Port Washington. That's where I was born and raised. And then I went to UW Oshkosh for my undergrad, where I got a bachelor's in biology. The whole time I was thinking pre-med, like a lot of undergraduates. They come in, they want to do pre-med. So I kind of did the pre-med route, chemistry, neuroscience, minors, and then I kind of wanted to do research. So I came to UW Milwaukee to do neurobiology research, quickly changed, ended up doing a master's in biological science, but more in stream restoration, ecology type work. Got to do some cool things there. As an undergrad, I did a study abroad in Australia and Fiji. As a graduate student, I was able to spend a couple summers in Romania, which was actually really cool. We did a bunch of coastal restoration type work in Romania. And I also, at Milwaukee, I got a graduate certificate in GIS. When I came to the department, I ended up going back to school and ended up getting a second master's degree from University of Wisconsin-Stevens Point. And that was in natural resources, leadership, and administration. What do I like about water, or working with water? I really like, I think, two different things. One, the way that it connects us all, and also kind of the complexities of how it connects us all. And because it's so valuable, because it's essential to our existence, it's basically where we develop all of our cities. And then a lot over, it also is the source of a lot of conflicts and those are the things that really drive me to it. So thank you.
Thanks, Maddie.
So I went to school at UW-Eau Claire and graduated this year with a degree in geology and an emphasis in hydrogeology and water chemistry. So this is my first year at Tetra Tech, and this field season I've been doing a lot of construction quality assurance, CQA, at landfills. So while my background wasn't necessarily in landfill construction, I've found it really neat because there is a ton that goes into landfill construction to protect our groundwater resources. And it's just one of those behind the scenes things that you don't really think about on a day-to-day basis. So I've really liked seeing how that works and knowing that I'm helping protect our groundwater and the environment, because I really love to be outside. And I just think that going into the future, as I go more into regulatory stuff and writing reports, it just helps me know what truly goes on in industry to protect groundwater.
Thanks. And Max.
Hey, everybody. I just wanted to say thanks for putting this together, Marissa and Heidi, and who else was involved. I'm really glad everyone's here, because one of the things I struggled with during my undergrad career was visualizing exactly what it is I could do with certain degrees. And I started out, I'm from Milwaukee, Wisconsin originally, but I went to UW Oshkosh, and I started out as a chemistry major, and I was just kind of like floating through. I had a lot of these interests that we're all talking about right now, and I didn't really know how to piece that into a career. And so I found the geology department there, and it was really enlightening, because I took all these great courses that weave together so many of the concepts that I've been curious about in a really neat way. And I also got to do a bunch of undergrad research, which has just been so huge to my development. I mean, you get to work one-on-one with these professors and learn so much more outside of the classroom, which you have to put in the work to do, granted, but it's so worth it. And so after that, I did a master's, and now I'm here with the U.S. Geological Survey. We're a federal government agency, and I'm a hydrologist by title. I work in a geomorphology group. So basically, we study the landscape that revolves around these rivers and reservoirs out here in the Pacific Northwest. And so that leads to a lot of really neat and varied projects that I get to work on, from actual hardcore hydrology, studying the water, the rivers, the chemistry itself, to looking at the way the landscape changes, as I said before, from fires or just human use in general. And we look at historical data sets throughout the ages, from geologic time, thousands, millions of years, to modern stuff, including things that affect indigenous populations like fish and so forth. So it's really great. I think I kind of described why I love it, but I'm really looking forward to chatting with you all more. And I'm glad you're here for sure. So
Thanks. Okay, the next question I have for all of the panel is really about skills. So in your opinion, in your path, what were the most important technical skills that that you gained over the course of schooling and your career? And then what are the important social skills that you use and got developed in? So, okay, we're starting at the top again. Cody.
Would you like to just first hit on the technical skills?
Yeah, I guess
I mean, because I can get into soft skills, and there's a lot more to that.
Okay, I would say, yeah, let's go with technical. It's fine.
Okay, as far as technical skills for you guys, looking, I'm more of a field guy and a hands-on learner. So I don't portray a lot of technical skills, but stuff that that you need to absolutely have handled is Microsoft Office. Having a great ability to manage that and figure stuff out. Any of the Microsoft Office systems, being very proficient in that. And then as we proceed down to this online world, online avenue, being a part of Zooms and Teams and all that, being able to have these meetings like this in a proficient manner, and discussing it with individuals, troubleshooting so you don't miss the meetings, I mean, just simplistic stuff that, you take for granted, I guess, a little bit, but, you're trying to talk about something and get stuff figured out while constantly disconnecting or having issues, just puts everything behind and doesn't get the situations resolved. So that for the most part, and then also in my industry, it's going to be CAD, Civil 3D, and Revit, which are like 3D modeling systems. I know we have a lot of CAD courses that individuals go to, and being proficient and being able to, I guess, resourcefulness for if you run into something, you know, not wasting a bunch of time on it, you know, moving forward, reaching out to whoever you need to reach out to. So technical skills, I mean, they might have a little bit more, but I mean, our engineers, we work a lot with civil 3D modeling. We're going into the Revit systems. So I know those are big technical skills, and I haven't hit on the soft skills.
Yeah, why don't you hit on the soft skills real quick?
Okay. Soft skills is for sure going to be, you need to be a self-starter. Your initiative is number one. You know, when you get tasked with a project, or, you know, you get thrown into it, you're assigned a task, you need to take that initiative. You need to roll with it. You know, these guys put this on you. They expect a lot out of you. Well, you want to show them that you're totally capable. You know, they're going to give you guidelines, but you need to take that initiative and you need to just roll with it. I mean, you need to grab the bull by the reins and go above and beyond what they're asking. And that kind of transition to like what I was talking about, resourcefulness. I mean, you need to ask questions. Don't be afraid to ask questions. You just because you don't know something, you can easily learn about it. You know, having that general knowledge, having a little bit of knowledge about everything, not just, you know, pinpointed, having that general understanding, that general knowledge, you know, knowledge about, like they said, geotechnical, structural, architectural, process piping, you know, water, I mean, how the systems work, how they're conveyed, the conveyance systems. I mean, you need to have resourcefulness, ask questions, reach out, call the experts, talk to the manufacturer. I mean, talk to individuals. You know, a lot of people are scared to reach out because they, you know, don't want to feel stupid. No, like they say, no question is a stupid question. It's the ones you don't ask. So, and doing preliminary research when talking with these individuals, you know, Google. I know a lot of our engineers who Google stuff, you know, just to you know, get a wide array. Oh, you know, what do they think? What do they think? But then they also do their research. So you get that preliminary information, and then you delve into it a little deeper. But having that general knowledge and understanding of stuff and concepts and modeling and everything that goes into it, you know, it's not just one particular thing. It's a spider web. You know, it's all interconnected somehow, some way. So, you know, making sure how this affects this or this affects this, but that goes back to resourcefulness for water.
All right.
And then one, just personability, being able to talk to individuals. You know, I feel like nowadays with technology, it kind of gets lacked and is a lost and dying art. Being personable, face to face, even online here. I mean, being able to talk to an individual who you've never met, is an incredible soft skill that is dying, especially with texting and emailing and all that, you know, in our online world. So personability and honing those skills, you know, when you're out and about, just talking to individuals, talking to old folks, you know, saying hi, you know, the small town atmosphere.
Thank you so much. Okay, Ben.
Yep, I guess, you know, for my position, I spend a lot of time in the field. So, and you'll hear this from me maybe in the breakout session, but experience. Whatever you guys can do between now and the time you graduate, you know, any opportunity to make you more marketable and gain different experiences will help you. So for instance, we typically hire interns to work with us during the summer, biology tech. And basically when I look at interviews resumes and interviews, first thing I ask is like, well, do you have any boating experience? You work on the water? You know, I spend a lot of time hauling a boat around. So if I have someone that maybe spends a lot of time on the river or hunts or fishes, well, now they know how to ID fish. They also have boating experience. So those are two pluses. So again, it's just maybe not a specific technical skill, but as many opportunities and experiences you can gain just make you that much more employable. And then as far as some of the soft skills, you know, Cody was kind of touching on it again, being personable. And a lot of it's just being flexible. There's for instance, I deal with agency folks like Jesse with DNR. I've worked for USGS like Max, and I just deal with a lot of different people, both internally with different departments within Dairyland, but also just agencies, and just, you know, you're gonna find this might be the hardest part of your job is just dealing with other people and different personalities. It's not a good, it's not a bad thing. It's just, you know, being able to not burn any bridges and just have good communication and you know, just realize people think differently and may not have the same opinion, and you just got to be able to work with them in groups.
Thanks. Nathan.
Yeah, I guess one of the technical skills that's important is, you know, just have a really strong understanding, especially in the wastewater field and specifically at the Waukesha plant, you know, is the water chemistry behind it and what's going on and how the processes work. You know, every wastewater plant's different, you know, each one's treating a different amount of water every day. So it's important to understand the process. It's important to, you know, kind of have troubleshooting background or experience as well, so that, you know, if something goes wrong, everyone's not just freaking out, you know, and you're on top of things. So that's been a really key thing for me ever since I started working here. And then in regards to like soft skills, always be willing to learn, you know, and pick up something even as much experience as you've had. Really keep growing, because, you know, I found at times where, you know, I thought I knew something, and instead of trying to, you know, prove that I knew something and then got humbly shown that I didn't know enough, you know, it kind of made me step back and realize that, you know, there's still things I still need to learn. There's still things that, you know, can help me improve and become not only a better operator, but just a better person in general too.
Thanks. Erin.
So I think for some of the technical skills, you know, I think I kind of want to pick up something that Max said earlier too. I'm a big proponent of doing undergraduate research as well, or just getting on undergraduate projects to, again, kind of just experience different opportunities and learn things. So some of the things that I benefited from doing in undergrad was just you gain more laboratory experience and field experience. Those are things that are really transferable. Again, they kind of, similar to what Ben mentioned, it just gets you out and experiencing new things, using new equipment, and new analytical methods. You just learn a lot of different good technical skills that you can carry with you in a lot of different avenues that you go down. I think a couple other skills that, you know, I would emphasize on the technical side would be, I know maybe stats aren't super awesome and exciting, but statistics. And then for any coders who like coding, learning R, the capabilities that come along with that and the ability to use that for data visualization and summarization is really strong. So those are two kind of technical skill sets that will take you a long way as well. And then kind of on the same computer side of things, a lot of things are involving GIS nowadays, so geographical information systems. So any way that you can incorporate some experience in that, whether it's just choosing to take a cartography class, if they still offer those. I'm not sure what the updated language would be if they're not offering that. But maybe I'm dating myself because I took a cartography class, but definitely try and take GIS classes as an undergrad if you can. Again, you can utilize that in a lot of different positions as you move forward. On the soft side of things, I would definitely say, I mean, I agree a lot with what's been mentioned already. Two things that I'm very personally like an advocate for are communication skills, both written and oral. You need it, pay attention to it. If you are writing something and that goes for emails as well, you know, that might be the first time somebody's, you know, being introduced to you through that, whether it's oral or written communication, and sell yourself, you know, make that communication strong, good, words spelled correctly, proper grammar, please. But all of those things are just things you will use every single day, and you will be stronger for it, and you will be better for it going forward. So those are, I think, some of my top ones.
Thanks. Jesse.
Yeah, I'm echoing a lot of the things that the other folks have said. Like it or not, you know, if you're going into the sciences, particularly environmental science or, you know, freshwater science or, you know, natural resource protection, whatever you end up doing, you're entering a really a passion-driven field. And there's going to be a lot of people that are passionate about what they do. So the only way, in my view, to compete nowadays is really to find something that turns you on and that you're passionate about, because that's the only way that kind of to keep your fuel tank full when you're going through your day and you're doing your work, because you're competing against other people, you're working with other people that really love the stuff that they're working on. So while you're in school, try as many things as you can. This is the time where you can try as many things as you can. Research, laboratory work, field work, technical writing, public speaking, different disciplines, different technologies. Try as much as you can. Write it all down. Understand what you like and what you don't like. What you don't like is just as important. What you do like, figuring out what you don't want to do, is really, really important. Continue to grow and hone your own unique skill set, I think is really, really important, because that passion, the things that you can really want to lay into, and if you can build your career around the things that you really love doing, I think you kind of hit a sweet spot there. So I think that's kind of the way that I would go about it. And then once you kind of reach that point, my advice would be to, have a kind of screening process for the way you look at opportunities. Does this get me closer to my career goals, this opportunity? Will this help me, have me learn about something that I need to learn about, or get me closer to the people I need to be around in order to adapt to their skill set and things like that. So that would be kind of the technical approach to building all that stuff. Soft skills, for me, it's really kind of interpersonal skills. I think it's just one of the most critical things. In my role, being able to talk to a farmer, in the middle of the country, same day, the next stop you make is you're talking to a public official, then you're talking to a CEO of a big business, then you're talking to a community activist here in the city. Being able to connect, relate, develop good relationships with all these different people, all these diverse backgrounds, I think is one of the most critical abilities that you can have coming out. So that's what I would add to it.
Thank you. Maddie.
I would say being able to write professionally would be one of the most important technical skills that you can have. I've been in the field almost every day since June, since I got hired. And every day I've taken detailed notes and had to write a daily report at the end of the day about what happened on site. And those dailies go to my supervisors, sometimes directly to the clients, and you need to be able to recap everything that happens in a thorough but concise way so that everyone knows what's going on. And even just emails that go to your coworkers and to your clients, you want them to think of you in a professional way and be impressed with your work. So I would say writing has been really important so far for me. And then for the soft skills, just having strong work ethic puts you ahead really far, especially for internships in college. Your employers aren't going to expect you to have every single technical skill. I mean, you're in college, you're only so far in your career, but if you have a strong work ethic and you show that you're willing and able to learn, they're going to want to hire you because they want someone that they can train on the job and was willing to put in that effort. So that's what I've found so far in my experience.
Thanks. And Max.
Hey again, everybody. One of the things I was just thinking about while we were talking here is just sometimes when I was in your shoes, I felt this disconnect between what I learned and what was going to be expected of me on the job, like what skills, because the nature of our education system, right, we're learning kind of the core knowledge behind everything, and some of those technical skills get lost. So a lot of the times, to give you some tangible advice, you have to kind of seek some of that stuff out. So Aaron mentioned GIS. Maybe you don't take a GIS course. There's free online versions that you could just play around with. And then if you end up in a position that says, hey, we want some GIS experience, you could say, be honest, I haven't had a formal class in this, but I've messed around in it. That's going to push you a lot further. There's a lot of tangible things like that you can do. And one of the most important things is probably going extracurricular. So going outside the classroom, because we do have to take these classes to get the core knowledge and to get the degree, but there's a lot of these opportunities, internships, specifically at the USGS, the DNR, I'm sure some of these geotechnical firms too, where you can go do paid or unpaid stuff, preferably paid for sure, and build some of these skill sets that you may not otherwise do. And Some good places to look for those would be specifically for the government, usajobs.gov. We can put that in the chat. But there's also, if you're interested in an agency like the DNR or some other water agency in your state or area, all you have to do is go online and look at those opportunities. It'd be a great way to just kind of, if you have the time and energy to put into that, it could be a really good way to get those tangible skill sets. So that's kind of what I have to say about technical skills. Soft skills, we've covered that pretty well here. Just, definitely be yourself though in these interactions. The true you, when you're passionate about something, that really draws it out in other people and makes you seem more credible too. So I'll end there.
That's great. Thanks, everyone. That's great feedback. And we did put usajobs.gov in the chat. Our next move is we're going to break out into breakout rooms. So welcome back. Thank you so much. All right. Okay, so we have just 5 minutes to close out our session. And I guess I'd like to ask if one student from each of the breakout rooms would mind summing up what you just learned and talked about. So someone from the wastewater group, please unmute and let us know, what did you learn and talk about?
Sure. So we talked about both drinking water and wastewater facilities and like the similarities and differences between those processes and like what the jobs look like. And we talked about what internship and experiences are important and like how to get the experiences that you need to look good in a job interview. And we went over like good job interview techniques and tips.
Wonderful. Thank you. And someone from government group, please let us know, what did you learn? What did you talk about?
I can sum it up. We discussed a lot about what the government interview and application process looks like, and especially what some of the nuances between federal and state government agencies.
Great. Thanks. And now someone from industry, from the industry group. What did you learn? What did you talk about?
I can do it. We talked about like a little bit about like the pipeline of workflow, some of what one company does can send along to another company, and then a little bit of the differences between working in state agencies and in private sector.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. Okay, I'm just going to share my screen really quick. And remind you all that we have a brand new website at freshwater.wisconsin.edu. You can go ahead and visit the page sometime. We have a for students section at the top with a drop-down menu, and it includes internships and job postings and other opportunities like this would be listed there. And so I highly recommend that you I don't know, like us or something on our social media as well. So we've got Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, and I believe you're signed up for our newsletter, so you should be getting updates. But check us out every once in a while and drop us a line if you have any questions about water programming across the entire state. I guess I just want to end with saying the dream of the Freshwater Collaborative is that we set up programs that allow students to sign up for a water program at one of the 13 UW universities, but then enable them to move around the whole state. So if a student signs up at UW Superior, for instance, and works on shipping, they may also be interested in water programming at UW La Crosse on the Mississippi River, or at the trout streams at Platteville, or Green Bay or Parkside on Lake Michigan. And so we really have these amazing programs. We have 26 campuses, 13 universities, and we would love to we're trying to enable all of those programs, all of those water programs to be to not only be as strong as they are, but to be accessible to students from all over the state, and then growing it outside the state and across the nation and the world. So that's what we're in this for. So I just want to thank you all for being a part of this. Thank you, students, for signing up and showing up and participating, and especially to our panelists for volunteering your time and being available to students. I think this is such an important connection to bridge the gap between graduation and jobs. I know it helped me enormously during my path. So thanks again, and I hope you have a wonderful Thursday and a great weekend.